but they've propped her up to a point that we got to start kind of taking it serious.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Charge the Game podcast. And in this take, we're going to discuss how we must acknowledge Angel Reese now because of what the media has doing. And Jaosn Whitlock is doing a great job of shedding light on this. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Jaosn Whitlock. I love the way that he just keeps it real and doesn't care who's offended, because you have to just be neutral and call a spade sometimes. But what the media has done is put Angel Reese in a spotlight that we are forced to acknowledge now. So let's get into this discussion and talk about how they're doing it. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let's get into this.
Between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, and yes, I believe much of it is inauthentic. Much of it is just
right.
Marxist, leftist, race idolaters propping up Angel Reese.
Yep.
But they've propped her up to a point that we got to start kind of taking.
I agree. You know why? Because now it's to the point I can make videos all day attacking this subject matter that Angel Reese does not deserve Rookie of the Year over Caitlin Clark. But what Jaosn Whitlock just said about racial idolatry, you have to keep in mind, voters are like the sports people, okay? So when they vote, they're going to lean into this whole DEI situation. They see what ESPN is doing. They see that these teams and teammates are helping Angel Reese and advocating and lobbying for her to get Rookie of the Year without properly earning it in a way that Caitlin Clark is doing. I'm sorry, it is the truth. And when it comes to voting time, they are going to have those demons in their heads. Am I being racist? Am I, not doing the right thing if I vote for Caitlin Clark? They can't even vote properly because of what social media is doing. Right now, we live in a time and era where, it doesn't matter what the Vegas odds say. The people will dictate the energy, right? We all can see clear as day that Caitlin Clark is the better talent on the worst team. And Angel Reese does not have the skill set to stand apart from Caitlin Clark, so she has to have assistance from the media. She has assistance from the commentators, the referees, and you do not see that happening for Caitlin Clark. In fact, you see the opposite. You see her getting fouled. You see the refs swallowing their whistles. You see her not even coming out to really defend herself, and you definitely don't see her teammates helping her in the way that Angel Reese is being helped. So this whole racial idolatry, guys, is going to be a huge thing. Now, if it was up to the fans, I would pretty much be cocky. Oh, yeah, I'd be pretty cocky that Caitlin Clark would win. But because it's up to the sport writers or the sport people, I can already see the heist coming.
Conversation. I told you what side I'm on. Caitlin Clark is the Rookie of the Year. But Angel Reese, this double streak. Angel Reese and their record, 9-12. Not significantly better than the Indiana Fever, but the Fever are 9-14. And yes, the Fever were the worst team in the Wnba last year, and they got more of an uphill.
That actually means something to me. 9-12 versus 9-14. You were on a team that wasn't. Angel Reese is on a team that wasn't the worst in the league, and Caitlin Clark is. Caitlin Clark has her team in a better standing that it has seen in the last previous years. I don't even know when the last time they were in good standing with a win-loss record, but because of Caitlin Clark, they are 9-14, right? I believe last year they only won like a handful of games, and it was nothing like this. And for Angel Reese to be considered the Rookie of the Year, she's an impact player, but she isn't impacting her team the way that Caitlin Clark is doing.
Yes, Caitlin Clark had a fine statistical game, one of her best, 29 points, 13 assists, 5 rebounds. Great performance, buckets, shot a better percentage. I think shot 7 of 14 from the field. But when the game mattered, when they were blowing the game in the first 3 quarters and trailing by 21 points, I'm a Caitlin Clark homer. I'm a Caitlin Clark fan. She's too loose with the basketball.
Now, when he's saying that she's too loose for the basketball, I think that with most rookies who have to, adapt to a higher level of basketball, it is going to be tough. I do agree with Jaosn Whitlock that she should cut those turnovers down, but let's look at the context of those turnovers. Is Angel Reese getting picked up full court like Caitlin Clark? Is all of the defense being focused on Angel Reese like Caitlin Clark? Is everybody going out of their way to make sure that Caitlin Clark does not Larry Bird them every game like Caitlin Clark is doing most of these teams? Angel Reese doesn't have to go through that. So her turnover, you have to look at that turnover rate. I mean, anybody is going to turn the ball over if you're constantly overwhelmed. Mentally, you don't even get a break. Only time she checks out of the game is when Chrissy Size does stupid-ass coaching that costs the game, that blow the game. So think about the mental break that she never gets to have. Okay, when she has a good game or a halfway decent to good game, Chrissy Size blows it for her. So that's a mental drag. Being on the court, I don't care who you are, if you're constantly being hackled, constantly being sought out after, you're going to be turnover prone. And that's the underlying fact that a lot of people aren't trying to hear nor excuse.
I don't know I know no WNBA player has ever faced the kind of defensive attention and harassment.
Thank you.
Commitment to stopping her from getting going on the offensive end that Caitlin Clark has faced. And when you face that much harassment,
exactly,
that much attention, when they're guarding you 75 feet of the court, when again their entire focus is not letting you get a clean look and just following you everywhere.
Thank you, Jason Whitlock. It seems like this guy sees the game the way I see it. I mean, I know he was about to say she's just a point guard, but think about this, guys. Point guard is typically a distributor. You will have to worry about that more so on a shooting guard, a Clay, a Steph, a Ray Allen. Like, you have to worry about those type of players, and you have to make sure that you're picking them up so that they don't get a backdoor cut and shoot your lights out. Caitlin Clark has to be overwhelmed constantly as the point guard and still make good decisions. On top of that, the turnovers, her teammates have booty fingers. They cannot catch the ball. They are not used to playing the level of basketball that Caitlin Clark is. And to be honest with you guys, Caitlin Clark came in more advanced than a lot of these veterans because they're so used to playing a game where no eyes is really on them, where they can just make it by. And she's bringing that awareness. Like, no, you have to be sharp when you're on the court with me. You have to be ready for the ball. It can come at any time. And they aren't really used to that. They're used to ABC basic basketball. Straight up.
You know, she's not the two guard just running off screens and hunting.
Thank you.
And hunting open looks. She's the point guard. She's responsible for more points than anybody in the WNBA. When you combine her assists and points, she's responsible for more points than anybody in the WNBA. Again, is why I consider her Rookie of the Year without question.
Now, what would you guys have to say to refute that?
She produces a lot of buckets with her passing and with her scoring and shooting. That, again, is why I consider her Rookie of the Year without question. Basketball's a game about producing buckets. She produces.
Now, what do you guys have to say to refute this? Are we hearing the same thing from Angel Reese? We don't even hear this from her teammates because they're just in awe of her. They like Angel Reese's popularity, but it isn't because of the skill set. And I need a lot of people to understand the blatant difference. Caitlin Clark is a difference maker. Under constant duress, still able to produce combined the most points from her assist and points on her own. That's impressive as a rookie. And you want to compare that to a double-double that the whole league is in on and assisting Angel Reese on. It's not even a discussion. But as long as there are going to be people advocating for Angel Reese to get this award, I'm going to be here producing these videos, making the case that it really shouldn't be a case. But she needs Charge the Game services, and we are here for it. So you guys let me know what y'all think about this whole situation. Us having to literally give Angel Reese attention now because of what the media has done. Like Kwame Brown says, stars are not created. They are born. Except in Caitlin Clark's situation, she was born. And, you know, she's a star. She was born a star, seems like. Because this wasn't something given to Caitlin Clark. She earned it from college days on up until now. So you guys tell me what y'all think, man. Drop the comments in the comment section. I would love to hear from everybody. Make sure you guys are liking the video and subscribing to the YouTube channel. See you guys next time. Peace.
Yeah.